Dang, you know you get stuck on us. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Hello, HoneyPots. And I'm not giving you tea, baby. I'm giving you honey. It is going to be good. It's going to be good. So let me just get into this because it is a wild ride. That's all I can say. Sometimes I still can't believe this happened. Sometimes I wish that things happened differently, and that sometimes I wish like I would have done things differently, or that I wish that I could have changed because yeah, it was just no bueno. So let's start where I first messed up at the interview, guys. I messed up at the interview because firstly, I had an interview with this company, okay? This company was down in Jeonju. I can't, of course, say names or anything like that and, give it away because Korea does have defamation laws, but I do want to get my story out there because I think it's important for people to realize that this does happen and to, kind of learn the laws. And this actually made me really learn like the legal system and try to make sure that other people don't have this happen to them because this was awful. All right, so the interview. Should have known from the interview. So I had an interview with them. The interview went well, but they were like, oh, we really don't want to take the risk with someone with a child. If something happens to your child, you may leave, blah, 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 blah. This is the kind of mess they always say. Like one recruiter said that to me, but the other recruiters were like willing to help me. So I should have already known because this was from this was actually this one was from the recruiters that were willing to help me, but this company said no. That was fine. So then I had another interview and I actually got the job, signed the contract, sent my stuff to them, and then they sent everything back to that recruiter because they were like, oh no, actually we decided to just go with somebody here. And I'm just like, dang it. So that would have been Incheon. So this school in Jeonju, they came back around. So it was like maybe 3-4 months later. I think I had an interview with them in February of 2016. And this is when I'm trying to come back with my daughter. So I'd already left, already had her in the States. So now I have to try to come back to Korea with her. So, yeah, I dealt with a lot just trying to come back. So yeah, so I got there in June. So that means I think I had the interview because I think I had 2 months before. No, I didn't have 2 months. I had like a month. They wanted me there the next month because it was that serious or whatever. Yeah, it was serious. It was serious. It was seriously wild. So anyway, that interview, it was like, oh, didn't we interview with you already? And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh, you're the one with the kid, right? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go with you because our previous teacher is not working out. So are you okay with that? And I was like, yes, I'm okay with that. Because I'm just trying to get my feedback in Korea, guys. Like that was my main goal. Like, because I knew once I was in Korea again, that it would be easier for me to find a better job. So my thing was like, okay, well, I can just work for them for a year. A year is really not that long. Work for them for the year, be done, go to a better school. So that was my plan. And also get closer to Seoul because Jeonju is far south of Seoul. So I was like already planning, that. But of course, if the school was good, I probably would have stayed. But, I didn't want to be down there. But I met a lot of great people. Actually, one of my good Korean friends, he's just really sweet, really amazing. I met him in Jeonju. So, yeah. All right. So get there, get on the plane, everything. I don't arrive late. Okay. Mind you, I told them when my plane comes. I didn't realize actually how long a freaking trip it was to get down to Jeonju. Mind you, they know I have a baby. They know I'm coming with this little baby. She's 15 months. So I get to the Jeonju like bus terminal, I guess. I think it was bus terminal. Yeah, because I think the bus was the only thing left that could take me to Jeonju. And I get there exhausted because we, have all these bags. And so I'm sitting there waiting. I text them. I'm like, hello, I'm at the bus station. Are you going to take me to my apartment? And, they're like, I got no answer. I got no answer. So I'm just like, okay, this is weird. They said they would be up. They said they would get me. So I messaged them again. I'm like, okay, I have hello, I messaged 30 minutes ago. Are you on your way? It would be nice just to know. And they're like, nothing. So I think I messaged the recruiter because the recruiter I used was in Canada. So I messaged the recruiter. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm currently sitting at the thing. It's been an hour now and no one's picking up. I think I had called them too and they didn't pick up. So I messaged them several times. I called them. No one picked up. And so I was like, what the freak is going on? So then the recruiter, I think I sent an email or I called the recruiter and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm still sitting at no, maybe the recruiter called me because I think I got a call and they're like, hey, we just wanted to make sure you made it there okay and safely with your baby. And I was like, yeah, but they're not picking up. And I'm just sitting at this bus station. It's closed now because you're the last one. They have to close and lock up. So I'm sitting outside on this bench with all my stuff in a city I don't freaking know with a baby. That's crazy. I was like, thank the Lord I have my phone. So glad my phone is charged enough. I think I was probably like 50% at that time. So, I wasn't too worried, but at the same time, I was like, dang, I didn't get the address for my apartment, nothing. No. Actually, I had the address for my apartment, but I'm like, I don't, really want to take a taxi. I don't really know, how far away it is. There was just so many things. And actually, I didn't even see a taxi. It was dark. I remember it being so dark. So they finally arrived and I was not taken to my apartment. Guys, this is already a big red flag, because every company should take you either to your apartment or to a hotel or to another place that is a facility, not their apartment. So the owners took me to their apartment. They took me and my baby to their freaking apartment. And they were like, oh, just get the stuff you need out. You'll get in your apartment tomorrow. That's what they told me. Okay. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's late. I'm tired. I need to sleep. They're like, go ahead, shower, sleep, it's okay. Just do what you need to do. So I do that. And they're like, oh, yeah, you got to get up early. We're going to, you have to come to the company. And I'm just like, are you joking me? I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning at that point. And I'm like, you're going to have me get up and go to work. So mind you, this is what Hagwons do. This is Hagwon style. Not all of them do this, but the ones that are like this, they do this. And this is not good. This is not good. So if anybody happens to own a Hagwon and somehow finds me and listens to this, please do not do this to your employees. Do not do this. This is so horrible, especially if they get in after midnight. Now, if they get here early, if it's 8, 9, something like that, that's more understandable. But you have to also realize we have jet lag. We have jet lag. Jet lag is real. So if you want somebody who's going to be fully there, fully awake, unless you only have them do a half day the next day, just so they do training in the morning or even training in the afternoon, that's better. And, make sure they go to immigration that first day, which is what they're supposed to do before they even start working. So please start following the law. Thank you. Because they shouldn't even be doing that stuff until, they shouldn't even be going to work during training when they are supposed to be first registered with immigration so that their ARC is processing. Guys, and make sure you know that your ARC should be processing before you start work. Yes, a lot of companies do that, but you need to put your foot down and say, excuse me, I don't feel comfortable working until I register for my ARC. Could you please take me to immigration today? Like that. Okay. So as I said, started work the next day. Whew. And yeah, I was exhausted. So my daughter was supposed to be going to a daycare. I had already found it. My friend already called them, talked to them on the phone, my Korean friend. It was supposed to be $800 a month. That did not work out because they started saying just all kinds of crazy stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then the supervisor said, $800 a month? That's crazy. No, you should not be paying that much money. And she was also like, you're not going to be able to survive if you pay that much. And I'm thinking like 800 is not that bad. Like my brother pays way more than that a month for his kid. Like that's what I'm thinking like for daycare. But you can't go by US, prices because it is less expensive in Korea for daycares. So yeah, you can't go by that. So she was like, okay, I don't know. She was like, I don't know what's going on. They want you to get all these shots first. I was like, that's not what they told me. She was like, I'm gonna go ahead and call the other daycares for you, but are you okay if my best friend or my mom watches your daughter today? And she came in, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. My daughter was fine going with her, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Of course, I wasn't 100% okay, but you get a vibe for people, and yeah, Lily's a good baby, and she was like, oh, she's just gonna be, at a cafe here until you're done for the day and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that's even better. So I paid her. She's like, oh, you just have to pay her 50. I was like, okay, here, take the cash now. So I just gave her 50, and that was that. And baby was okay. I checked her body, everything, because I was like, did this lady hurt you? Let me see bruises, anything. Nothing. So yeah, she was happy baby when she came back, and yeah, I was very happy. So that day I was supposed to be doing training with the girl who was leaving. Let me tell you how awkward that was. But that wasn't even the issue. That wasn't even the problem. This girl, guys, oh gosh, I forgot to turn on the echo. This girl, guys, she had some major issues. So I go into the training, and I already knew something was strange because, they said originally, they told me, oh, they had some problems with her. This is why she has to leave. It's not her wanting to leave, they're making her leave. So I go into the classroom, I have to watch her. And I'm like, okay, if she did something to where she needs to leave, then why would they have me watching her train? Like, why is she training me? So it was really weird. So I go into this classroom with her, follow her in there. She gets her stuff. I was like, oh, do you have everything you need? Because she seemed a little off. And then she was like, yeah. And so I just sat down with the students, and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm one of the new teachers," and they were like, "Oh, yay, new teacher!" And yeah, they're actually that class. Their English was pretty good. So she goes and she opens her book and she says, "Today, okay, today." She said, "Where are we?" And they were like, "Teacher, we're supposed to be on this page." And she was like, "Okay." And then she turns the book and she says, "Okay." And she turns around to write, and then she's just frozen. I have never seen someone in such a crisis mode to when I saw her. And I really wanted to cry for her because, like, I knew something was horribly wrong with her and I couldn't help her. I didn't know how to help her. Um, but I could tell something was horribly wrong. So I was just like, okay, well, I can help in this moment. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead. Let me see your book. Let's see which page is it. Okay, here. Okay. Oh, you're supposed to be doing this. I was like, oh, can you write this? Can you write this part on the board? She's like, yes. And then she starts writing, and then she freezes again. I was like, okay, write this, write this. And then she starts writing again, and then she freezes again. I said, oh, it's okay. You know what? Why don't I write it for you? So I just ended up teaching the class instead. So I didn't get any training. Mind you, I'd already taught. I've already taught before this. I've been tutoring way before I even did the Epic program. So I already knew how to teach. But the schools always have us do training for whatever reasons or purposes. That's just a part of what they do. So I ended up teaching her whole class, ended up teaching the next class too, because yeah, she just froze again. And I was just like, okay, this is why. Okay, now I get there's some sort of she's having some mental breakdown, mental crisis. And yeah, she can't function. So end of the day comes, I talked with the other people who are there coming in, but there are also some new teachers who they said were coming. So I was like, okay, cool. But anyway, here we go. Then had to stay with the supervisor. So the day ends. I'm like, okay, when can I get in my apartment? They're like, oh, when she leaves. And I was like, when is she leaving? And they're like, oh, she should be done today. Today's her last day. She's supposed to move out. Great. Beautiful. So I stayed with the supervisor. Mind you, this supervisor's house was amazing. Her apartment was amazing. She had big, beautiful apartment. Her husband was a retired like police chief or something like that. Oh my gosh, her place was gorgeous. We got to go shower in her master bathroom. She had like this huge like jacuzzi tub. She had like this other shower thing, and I was just like, wow. And then the master bedroom, her kids' bedroom, and then I believe we had a guest bedroom. Yeah, the guest bedroom. So we stayed in the guest bedroom. And it was really nice. Oh my goodness. No, actually, I think there was two bedrooms. It was her son bedroom, her daughter's bedroom, master bedroom, or maybe the daughter slept with them. And then no, I don't think the daughter slept with them. I'm pretty sure she went to her own room. And then they had the guest bedroom because it was not set up for anybody. It just like kind of had like knickknacks and things around, but it wasn't like set up for someone. Yeah, so it was really great. It could have been her husband's room, honestly, because I heard that when after Koreans get married, they don't usually sleep in the same bed, which seems so sad to me. So yeah. Next day comes, things are still strange. They tell me the girl has left. So I'm like, okay, cool. And they went to check the girl's apartment, or no, they sent me to the apartment with the other girls to show me where it was. That place was not empty. That place was destroyed. It was a wreck. It was disgusting. It stunk. It was gross. It was gross. So we talked to the owner. We came back and they were like, she can't move in here. Her and her baby cannot move in here. And so we like called him, and then he was like, show me, like send me video. So we sent the video. Or no. I think he just walked over. He walked over there, looked inside. He was like, you have to be kidding me. So he was like really upset too. He's like, where the heck is she? Because obviously she didn't take her stuff. So that means your girl have to stay with the owner again. Mind you, this owner was a cigarette smoker. He smoked cigarettes in his bathroom. Hello, I have to use your bathroom, sir, and I have a baby, and I'm allergic to cigarette smoke. So, like, you just polluting me, what? You're just like harming me, and he doesn't even know, but he was harming me, and that was not fun. And that smoke smell really made it hard for me that night. I felt very sick, very nauseous. And then so we find out that the girl did not leave. She ended up having a mental breakdown. She was supposed to get on the bus. She never left Korea. She actually came back to Jeonju. And so what was wrong with her? So she was having, I guess she has some obsessive something disorder. She also obviously I think she maybe mentally manipulated by her mother as well. She was supposed to be on some medication, which she stopped taking after she came to Korea. So we contacted her friends in Canada, everything, trying to get information about her. So she was obsessed with Gongyu. So she added me on Facebook. And she would always tell me, like, I'm married to Gongyu. He's my husband. Did you see my husband's picture on Emart? Like, it was just weird. I was like, what are you saying, girl? And like, she really believed it. She was like, yeah, I mean, my husband, we've been married for so long. I'm so in love with him. And then they also told me that there was this eye doctor that was like close to the school, and she was obsessed with him, and they think that something happened between them. And yeah, so she would always go there, and it got so bad to where he had to tell the school, like, hey, please do something about her because she can't keep coming to my job. So I don't know if he like got her to sleep with him, or if she was just, trying to make advances toward him. I will admit he was very attractive eye doctor. He was a very attractive eye doctor. So I can see if somebody with like this Gongyu obsession, she sees Gongyu picture there, and then she sees an attractive male there. Maybe she just mentally, imagined him to be like Gongyu. But yeah, she was definitely a danger to herself and to coworkers. There was a major incident. The girls were supposed to help. They were helping her to leave, really leave, making sure she actually left, which they should not have had to do because that was not their responsibility. That was the responsibility of the school because they owned her visa. So they should have been the ones, the supervisor, the owner, whatever, the owner's wife, they should have taken care of it themselves instead of putting co-workers for other foreigners in danger. Their co-workers in danger. That is so messed up. You're going to put your employees in danger because you didn't want to deal with the situation? That's messed up. That was so wrong. And like the girls got injured. They got hurt by this girl. Like it's crazy. She tried to jump out a freaking window at the hotel where they were trying to help her. And then she started attaching herself to one of the girls and like would not let her go, like death grip. It was so scary, like horrifying hearing the stories from them. And it was just so bad. I think they ended up having to call the police or something like that. So she ends up being institutionalized in Korea. They ended up getting her to a mental health facility in Korea, which, guys, there are not many of those. So they had to go like outside of the city. Thankfully, there ended up being one not horribly far away, but yeah, because all this went down, of course, you're thinking, like, where's her parents? What's going on? Like, have y'all not talked to them? Oh, yeah, they've talked to them. They talked to the mother, and the mother said she was coming to the school. She was going to blow up the school. She was going to kill the person who was taking her apartment, stealing her stuff. And we're just like, okay. And I'm like, me and my baby are the ones going into that apartment. So mind you, okay, so at this time, they have gone to like try to get her wherever before they left to like actually take her, because she wasn't at the apartment. So before they left to actually take her, we boxed up, thankfully they helped me, we boxed up everything, they helped me clean the apartment. Actually, I don't even know if they let me clean. I think they ended up cleaning like with the chemicals and said, no, we'll do this part because it's not safe for the baby and it needs to air out. So I think I remember them doing that because I don't actually remember cleaning the apartment myself. I remember helping like box up stuff and like they just said sit it all outside. So we just sat it all out in the hallway after boxing it up, and they helped clean. And yeah, so yeah, the mother came from Canada, and yeah, it was really creepy. The mother was very strange. She would be on the phone with her and she'd be like, blah, 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 say amen. And then you could hear her, amen. Say amen, amen. It was like kind of like this scary, like kind of ritual thing. And it did not sound like a prayer. It sounded like kind of like satanic chant kind of thing. It made me feel very uneasy. And I found a very strange like book in her room about I don't know, it was like satanic holds or something like that. I don't know. It was just a lot of weird stuff, honestly. And then there was like Korean books in there that I got to keep. So when the mom did come and she was like, well, let me look at the apartment. I need to see what's going on in here. And like I was telling her, they had me go by myself. This woman could have been dangerous. She could have, grabbed a knife and killed me right then and there. Like, y'all don't know. Like, I was like, this is dangerous. So I'm walking over there with her. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Do you go to church? And she's like, yes. She was like, oh, you're a woman of God. And I said, yes. I was like, I just came to this school. Me and my baby. And she's like, oh my gosh, you brought a baby. You have a baby. And I was like, yeah, she's at the daycare now. And she was like, oh, bless you, bless you. She was like, I was so angry before meeting you, but you don't seem like a bad person. I was like, I just came and I said, I don't really know what's going on with your daughter. I said, they haven't really told me anything. Y'all ain't trying to get killed. Crazy. I ain't trying to get killed. I'm trying to live for my baby. I am not trying to get killed out in these Korea streets. Not by no one and nobody. So anyway, long story short there, she was fine. Didn't find anything in the apartment that she wanted for her daughter. Nothing was left in there. We packed everything up. whatever. So she goes away. Thank the Lord. But she still talks about blowing up the school and setting it on fire. She said she's still considering it when she had left. So I was just like, please give me a heads up because I don't want to be in there, Yeah. So later we are in the apartment. I kept getting sick. I kept getting sick, 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 sick. And I'm actually still dealing with these issues. And I honestly believe if I would have never been in that apartment, that I wouldn't have the throat problems I have now. It gets very challenging for me to speak at times like right now. After speaking for a bit, my throat starts hurting, or singing for a bit, my throat really starts hurting. The doctor said I need a surgery, which I will hopefully do. But because of so much mold inhalation, like it's taking a while for my body to kind of get back to normal. I ended up in the hospital. Like I had to get a bunch of medication. Yeah, it was not good. So the mold, actually, I didn't know, but it was in the bed. I saw it growing behind the dresser, in the dresser, well, wardrobe, not dresser, in the wardrobe. It was underneath the floorboards. It was through the walls, everything. Mind you, I didn't move any furniture. So when I moved in, I didn't move any furniture. Like they had cleaned, so I didn't know where they cleaned or whatever. I just know that the bed just stayed where it was. I did change the sheet, but excuse me, while I was changing the sheet, I didn't really look on the side of the wall. I didn't look at anything. So I didn't know how bad it was until when I was leaving. So I will tell you more in a second. But dealing with sickness, my coworker also ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. She went to the hospital. We all went to the hospital at the same time. But she ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks because she had pneumonia in both lungs. And they said, yes, it was from the mold. So all of our apartments had major mold issues. Mold is a big issue here in Korea. You have to learn how to really deal with it, air out your apartments, all this crap. Thankfully, this apartment, we don't really have mold. There is mold that is like, well, y'all can't even see behind me, but at my front door, there's like a thing over like next to the air conditioner, and that part gets molded. So I just spray it with bleach in the summertime, and that seems to help a lot. And then I went to the ENT so many times, so many times. I had so many tests. He wrote me a whole thing, like he wrote me letters saying like, you know, what did he say? He said he wrote it saying like these issues most probably caused by mold or some other thing in the environment that she's in. So he was really trying to help me. I really love that ENT. He was really sweet, really amazing. Yeah, and Lily also, yeah, she got really sick. So we both got really sick. Lily ended up getting like 104 fever and almost got admitted in the hospital. And that's when I was just like, you know what? No, they're not about to kill my kid. Like that's when I lost it. And I ended up quitting. I ended up quitting at the 6 month line. So I didn't have to pay not one thing back. As the contract stated, I was fuming because it's like just so disrespectful. They tried to get my coworker out of the hospital early. Like they didn't respect boundaries of the doctors and her privacy to care. They kept calling up there trying to get her released because they just wanted her to work. They did the other coworker dirty and making her do all this like crazy hours and stuff that weren't even her hours. Then when I was quitting, like they started threatening me, saying, I was going to be blacklisted. I'll never work in Korea again. And like, it was just really messed up. And then after I was threatened, then she's going to say she didn't. Like we had a meeting with the director after that. She's going to say, oh, I didn't threaten her. I never said something like that. Yeah, you did. Please don't lie. Like, I'm not going to make that up. I'm not going to lie about that. I have no reason to lie. I'm the one quitting. I don't care. Like, I'm over it. Like, y'all trying to hurt my daughter. And then she just says, she comes up and says, oh, you just wanted to take advantage of us. You were just trying to get this other visa. You don't even care about working and helping the children to improve their education. You only came here to study Korean and find a Korean man to marry. I was like, lady, I don't know where you got that information. I said, but I am not doing any of that. I said, yeah, I'm studying the Korean language to improve my child's life. Like, yeah, I need to do that. And I said, I found out about the visa through a friend. I said, I didn't even know that girl before I came here. I was like, please don't spread lies about me. Like I said, it's one thing, like you can just say I'm quitting. Like you don't need to lie and say I'm a bad teacher, that, I only came to Korea for this, this, and this. Like just don't lie on my name, because like that's messed up. So after I quit, I became really emotional. I started crying, and, I was just like, this is crap. And they were like, okay, you need to get your stuff out of the apartment by Friday. Now, mind you, your girl, I didn't think about any of that. I wasn't really thinking like, where was I going to stay? So yeah, I just asked my friends, like, can you please hold on to my stuff? I asked my coworker, the one who was in the hospital, like, oh, can we stay here for like a week? I think we stayed with her a week. We stayed with the other girl a week or a couple days. I think we just stayed with her a couple days, and then I went to my friends in Namyangju, and I think we stayed with her for 2 weeks. Yeah. And then what happened after that, I can't really talk about yet, because that's not with this story. But yeah, that's a different story time. And then I just want to say that I did have to go through the labor board, because they tried to take all my money at the end, and that was not okay. So mind you, a lot of things did happen at the school. Like they would actually let us like get advances on our paycheck. So if we needed money, like especially like summer vacation, like, oh, can I go ahead and get an advance, of $100? Oh, I really need to pay this bill. Is it possible to get like $200 from my pay for next month? Like they let us do that. I think I did it once. But then I felt like a little bit awkward about it, because I'm like, oh, I shouldn't really do this. So, but also they withdrew money straight from our paycheck too. So like, like when you enter a contract, they will take the pay directly. I mean, take the money directly from your paycheck, which they're not supposed to do. So you're only supposed to have your taxes, and like your taxes, your health insurance, and your pension coming out of your paycheck. So if they're like charging on your paycheck and deducting straight from that, like your apartment fee or any other thing, they're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to do that. I know public schools do it for the goop shik, so their lunch fee. They will do it for that first housing payment. They'll take it out, which they started doing, I guess, because so many teachers left right away. And then some people, if they paid your full plane ticket and they said you have to pay half back in the first paycheck, they'll take it out. They're not legally supposed to do that. So they can ask you, oh, could you please pay us back this month? You can say yes and say, I will just give you the cash. Now you're thinking, oh, it'd be so much easier if I just didn't have to give them the cash and that I did this. But also, if you did do that, you can say, okay, can you please sign this saying that I got this? Or you can make up your own little thing saying, oh, I paid them this on this for this, and have them sign it, and you give them the cash, just so you have a paper trail. And I think that is also a biggest thing, is to have a paper trail. I really wish I would have recorded more conversations with us, because you can, by law, record conversations as long as your voice is on it too. So if something went down, and mind you, that meeting where she was threatening me, I didn't have my phone because she called me all of a sudden, and I totally forgot to grab it. And I was like so frustrated that I didn't grab it, because I had been recording the whole day, because I knew something was about to go down. And just so happens, like I had just stopped the recording. I was deleting it because that first section was not important. It was just like office chatter. We're talking amongst ourselves, and they were like, oh, are you recording? I was like, yes. So we're talking about amongst ourselves. And then she asked me, I think I was at the printer, and I said, oh, yes. And then I was just like, okay, like, I need to just go. And I didn't grab my phone. So that's probably the only thing like I really wish I would have done, so that I would have had the proof that she threatened me, so that I could have brought it up there at the labor board. And yeah, there's so much. And actually I could have sued them for other stuff, and like got my overtime pay and all this other stuff. But I didn't even want to go that far. I just wanted them to give me my money, my last paycheck money, and then just be done with them, because it was just so much. And I love the students. I love their curriculum. Actually, their curriculum was good. I love the students. I was helping them, like one girl, deal with some issues. I was, sending lots of love to this one little boy who they kept picking on, and it just made me so upset. He really needed to be in a lower class, but you just deal with stuff sometimes, and it's very frustrating. And as an educator, you want the best for all your students, and you can't help them if the management is not helping them and doesn't allow you to help them. And it's just so frustrating sometimes. So I'm really hoping that my new position that I'll be taking up next month, I really hope that I have the ability to do a little bit more to assist the students in all areas, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help them. So, anyways, guys, that is it, honey pots, and I hope that you had a good time. So, yes, that is Hagwon horror. Horror story time. So yeah, please don't find yourselves in this situation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, yeah, please hit me up. I do not mind. So Gurjam Ren out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Hello there, honeypots. Be sure to download on your phone the Korean Labor Law app and check us out on YouTube and Spotify. See you there.